Welcome back. The Ministry of Education, Technical and Vocational Training launched their co-curricular activities program, which introduces sustainable education to schools throughout the Bahamas. Minister of Education, Glenys Hannah Martin, and Minister of Public Works and Family Island Affairs, Clay Sweeting, both shared their thoughts on what the program will do for the education system. Minister Sweeting says initiatives like this create opportunities for many young people.
And this partnership helps to develop before they get a situation like Mr. Tinker. That's why these feeder programs are so important. These unique and creative opportunities for young people in our country. The government's commitment to youth empowerment remains crucial as it is a national goal for our administration.
Minister Sweeting also says Public Works and Utilities is dedicated to helping the Ministry of Education with infrastructure in schools, among other things.
To support this initiative, my ministry is committed in assisting the Ministry of Education in the development of infrastructure, including swimming pools, the construction of E-class boats through boat building programs, and the provision of skilled instructors to facilitate training. You know, boat building is an initiative that we really need in our schools. I think currently we might only have 2 to 3 boat builders throughout this country that build sailing sloops. So this initiative is something, because it's important that we don't lose our heritage, we don't lose from where we come from.
Minister Hannah Martin says it is good to know that the program also extends to the Family Island schools.
And you see as this progresses, we in Canada and Rosexoma, Maywater and now Grand Bahama, all over this nation, Eleuthera, all over. Because we know our valuable resources are everywhere. And we want equity in the delivery of education. Yes, we have Nassau with the bulk of the population and the schools, but we have children Maywater. And in fact, one of them is now the youth spokesman for climate change in this nation. So we know we got valuable resources all over this nation. I'm excited.
Minister Hannah Martin says having a parent unit will build bridges between homes and classrooms so that children can navigate the world more effectively. Late Friday, police reported a traffic fatality on the island of Eleuthera, the second fatality on that island in as many days. Police say it was around 11 p.m. on Friday, January 12th, when the 35-year-old driver was traveling south along Queens Highway with a 23-year-old male passenger when he reportedly lost control of his Honda vehicle, which began overturning, causing serious injuries to both males. You're looking at a photo or photos of the vehicle that was involved in that accident. The driver had to be extricated using the jaws of life and succumbed to his injuries on scene. He became the country's third traffic fatality for the year. Meanwhile, the 23-year-old passenger was eventually airlifted to the capital for further medical attention. The day before, on Thursday, January 11th, around 6:30 p.m., while on Queens Highway in the area of Rainbow Bay, South Eleuthera, a 49-year-old male lost his life after his Nissan Serena collided with a Nissan Sentra driven by a 60-year-old male. The 49-year-old victim became the second traffic fatality for the year. From the weekend crime news, police have launched an investigation into a sexual assault which occurred on Saturday around 9 a.m. involving a 26-year-old female. Police reports say that the victim was walking on Croton Street in Pinewood Gardens when a male, the sole occupant of a vehicle, approached and offered her a ride. The victim declined the offer, but the driver forced her into the vehicle, then drove to an area off Mackey Street where the alleged sexual assault occurred. Police are actively investigating this incident. In other crime news, a 19-year-old female was taken into police custody on Sunday in connection with a stabbing incident that occurred in the vicinity of Montgomery Avenue off Carmichael Road. Police say shortly before noon, the 19-year-old suspect was involved in a dispute with a male relative when she produced a knife and stabbed him to the upper torso. The male relative was taken to the hospital by an ambulance and is now listed in stable condition. The 19-year-old female suspect has since been arrested and the weapon confiscated. Meanwhile, on Saturday, a 30-year-old male suspect involved in a fatal stabbing of another male at a bar on Carmichael Road on Friday night turned himself into police as well. The Royal Bahamas Police Force continues to remove illegal weapons from the streets as they successfully recovered 5 pistols, 2 shotguns, and over 170 rounds of ammunition. The confiscated firearms and ammunition between Monday and Sunday, that's January 8th to January 14th, they were confiscated. 8 adult males have been formally charged in connection with the illegal firearms, some of those firearms being confiscated on the island of Eleuthera. Also on Saturday, a 44-year-old male was apprehended shortly after 3 p.m. on Bell Road, Montel Heights, where he was found in possession of an illegal firearm that was confiscated by the police. He too was taken into custody. And over the weekend, police and defense force officers also arrested a 53-year-old male who was found in possession of a firearm and ammunition while in the Gamble Heights community, that's off Blue Hill Road South. And finally, a look away from crime for a minute. Hundreds of runners took to the streets in western New Providence on the weekend for the Pink Run and Marathon Bahamas, which made its return after a 3-year break due to the COVID-19 pandemic. As for the 26.2-mile marathon, Chinese national Jcn News out of Washington won the race in 2 hours, 52 minutes, and 26 seconds. He was followed by American Chris Calamano from New York. Yonelis Lightbourne was the first Bahamian to cross the finish line in 4th place overall. She won the women's category in 3 hours, 22 minutes, and 32 seconds. In the half marathon, Kamar Leslie emerged as the champion, finishing in 1 hour, 22 minutes, 38 seconds. And in the relays, Grand Bahamas Port Authority sprinters won the division ahead of a team called Run Now, Wine Later. And that'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Once again, I'm Jarino Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.